Welcome to episode 4. Welcome to episode 4. Everyone does that when I clap it's for the editing, and then they start clapping back again. So today, welcome to episode 4, and I have with me today Rifraf.
It's going down, baby.
Rifraf, how you doing? It's nice to have you here.
Oh man, it's nice to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a new experience starting this all off. You got some promoting to do, right?
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're
not here for you.
But I'm telling you now. So this is episode 4, and I didn't see anything on your channel about any of the episodes that have previously gone there. So it's nice to know that you're supporting and pushing the podcast. And,
I try very hard.
And I've pushed yours 3 times now since the beginning.
Well, I've been posting regularly. Unfortunately, episode 1 just came out the other day. So, give me some time to work, my friend.
No links to that. No, so tell me about
There has been a link to that, by the way.
I spoke to Tal about it. She was kind of like going through it and all that. So boning.
The boner, I mean, the bone in or the boner?
Putting the bone in.
Putting the bone in. Okay, the bone and the boner, 2 different stories.
It depends where you're sitting.
All in one, yeah. So, no, it's so I've been cooking for 20 years, all right? I've never worked as a cook.
Have you been cooking for 20 years? Because every time I ate at your house, it was CB doing the cooking.
Well, I've graduated.
You've been watching the cooking.
Well, I've been watching. I'm a manager. Let me put it that way. I'm a manager. I graduated to management. Mm-hmm. But no, I've been cooking for 20 years, not in a restaurant, not professionally.
Just for the love of tasty food.
Just for the love of food. And I love food. And I love all kinds of food. Yeah. I mean, that's, train hard, eat hard.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I always tell everybody, eat good, train good.
Exactly. That's why I train so hard, just so I can eat whatever I want and just get away with it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, it's got nothing to do with being healthy.
I'll never be like you with abs and all that because
I don't have abs anymore since the quarantine.
I mean, like you used to.
Like I used to be. Yeah.
I was like that once
upon a time. I'm a shadow of the man that I used to be.
When I was 6 months old, I had abs.
Yeah, exactly.
And, but I
came out with a beard and abs.
Yeah. I sucked my mom dry milk, so I got fat real quick. But no, I just love cooking, and I've always done it. And about 5 years ago, I was planning to open a restaurant here in Dubai. Something that I see as a kind of gap in the market, let's say, is a steakhouse, a proper Texas steakhouse.
Isn't there like loads of steakhouses here?
They're all
fancy.
They
kind of like bougie?
They're bougie. They're not steakhouses. They're not. Well, I'm from Texas. Texas. Well, I'm from a lot of places, but I grew up in Texas. And Texas, we got real steakhouses, the real deal. And
like
real
you literally get a steak and a shotgun on your plate next
to
you.
That's it, and a glass of whiskey.
Like you risk your life every time you go into the place, but the
you don't go there and
ask
for like a spicy margarita, and
Yeah, they literally just give you the steak and a mop bucket next to it. Like,
exactly.
Just drink that. That's what a man drinks.
And that's a steakhouse. You know what I mean? It's all about the steak. So over here, they've been pretty much because Dubai is a bougie place. Let's say, right? So I saw like the need in the market for that, and I was going to do it. And then unfortunately, after doing kind of like my due diligence, I saw that my concept, my personal concept, wouldn't really work out here, and that's why there isn't many of those.
But what you see in Texas, is it kind of like, growing up watching America and seeing all that, it's all about that. You're kind of like big barbecues and loads of people meeting up together and having these huge things. Is it like that in Texas too, or is
that's exactly how
that's what it is?
Yeah,
just literally huge slabs of meat, everyone meeting up together and eating.
Yeah, exactly. So, and not many options, right? A lot of options of meat, but you don't have the lobster and the shrimp and the fish. I mean, you have special restaurants for that, but at the steakhouse, you go there for steak. If you don't like steak, stay the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't come over. You're not invited.
Yeah. If you don't like steak, go to San Francisco.
Yeah, you go wherever the hell you're gonna go. Just don't come here.
Yeah.
So my concept was a little bit different than all the other restaurants here because I like to serve meat. My opinion, all meat should be with a bone in.
Yeah.
And if you have meat, you can also get a boner.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you should edit that out.
No, I'm keeping all of that in. Dude, look, my first episode 1, we spoke about wiping our ass for most of it. So if you think that I'm taking out a boner, then you're way out of line. But this is what I want to talk to you. So I was talking to my nanny the other day, and she cooks a lot of Filipino food and stuff like that. And they love having bones on their chicken and their meat. And
the best.
I like it on, for example, a huge lamb chop. But when I have a curry or something like that, I don't want to be sitting there fingering my food and having a spoon and then breaking the bone off and putting it in my mouth and chewing it for a bit, finding 3 bones and all that stuff. And to her, she doesn't understand. She's like, the bone is the best part and it makes it tastier when it's cooking and that kind of stuff. But if I'm having a curry, I just want to eat the curry.
See, I agree with you, but at the same time, she's right. And Mama Filipina ain't lying. You know, when you have a bone in your meat, it's just the flavor is completely different. You can't compare chicken or beef or any kind of meat for that matter, including fish, with the bone, without the bone. There's so many nutrients and so many just different substances that come out of the bone when you're cooking it, and the marrows and everything else.
That literally, like, you know, growing up, you just see your mom just like
exactly
just sucking this up, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
you don't
eating
want to
fish eyes and all that stuff.
Yeah, why are you doing that now that we do that? And I don't eat fish eyes. That shit's nasty. But
is meat a big Armenian, you know, staple in dishes and stuff?
Yeah, yeah. But we don't have like steaks, like Texas steaks in Armenia. But meat is pretty much in every dish.
In everything, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the concept, and the bone-in was the name because
so you were going to call it the bone-in before?
That's where the name came from.
Ah, okay. Because I thought when I was speaking to Tal the other day, and I was like, I think he got the name wrong. And she was like, what do you mean? And I said, because does he mean the bone-in as in like the village inn, or, you know, a place where you can go and stay and eat and drink, which would be INN, but yours is bone-in.
Actually, the restaurant name was going to be bone-in because the only cuts of meat we're going to serve with the bone.
Yeah, okay.
And you can get the bone in almost any cut of meat, you know, fillets, ribeyes, whatever. And so if they didn't have a bone, we weren't serving it. Let me put it that way. If I couldn't get it from the market at that time, because like a bone-in fillet sometimes is hard to get from the market, it's not on the menu. You're going to have 6, 7 options of what to eat. If you don't like those, you're not invited.
Yeah, exactly.
Go home.
You shouldn't be here.
Go to La Petite Maison or DIFC or somewhere fancy.
Where'd you get your meat from?
Right now, I'm getting most of my meat from Prime Gourmet.
They're good.
And then there's the butcher
Prime
shop.
Gourmet, that is a advertisement right there. So if you'd like to sponsor Jibber with meat,
yeah. And then the other one,
please let me.
I'll tell you, is a great one. My buddy owns it actually. It's called thebutchershop.ae. You can find them on Instagram. Excuse me. So the butchershop.ae, they have great cuts. They get like 40-day-old dry aged meat and stuff that sells out in an hour, and all kinds of different cuts. So Prime Gourmet and the Butcher Shop are my 2 primary.
What are you like with biltong? Do you like biltong? I love biltong. South African dried.
The beef jerky type stuff.
Yeah. Love that stuff. Like, I can literally eat that for hours.
If you had Texas style beef jerky,
then I wouldn't go.
Yeah, the biltong is good. It's just a little bit dry and gamey, which is not bad. It's not a bad thing. I like it. I have some in the house, but again, I'm a little bit biased to Texas, so you know, Texas baby,
Texas, Houston. But what would you? Because I remember when I was doing a photo shoot, when I was really into the whole shredding back in the UK, there was this company that would send you literally anything, because, you know, there's a lot of stuff that is a lot leaner, like kangaroo meat and ostrich burgers and all that stuff. And that stuff was just like, what would you say if you had to live on one more piece of meat, one more animal for the rest of
other than beef?
Yeah.
Or is that an option?
Or everything. Yeah, everything.
No. I'm eating cows, man, all
That's
day.
it.
Hell yeah.
So no bison, no.
No.
Straight up cows.
Straight up cows, cattle, moo.
Okay, nice. That's interesting.
Yeah. And, you know, lately I started cooking this new type of meat that I hadn't really done before. I've always eat it in a Brazilian churrascaria or something.
We went to one of those. I remember.
Yeah. So the best cut in the churrascaria, they always call it the house special, is the picanha.
Okay.
And the picanha is a top sirloin. And
you did that last.
I did that. Right? Yeah. A couple episodes ago. So that was actually the first time I've cooked the top sirloin at home. You can't find that meat pretty much anywhere, and a lot of people will tell you that they're giving you the picanha cut,
but it's not.
It's not. Yeah. It's partially that, and then it's the bottom sirloin, the middle sirloin, and all that, because it's literally 1 kilo piece of meat on every cow.
On every
That's it. That's
so
all.
If somebody's selling you 3 kilos of it,
it's not.
It better not be attached to the same thing. It better be 3 separate kilos.
Exactly. It's a triangle shape. You can see it on the bone-in, and it's got a nice layer of fat on it, and it's almost a mix between a ribeye and a fillet.
Okay. And what's the at on the bone? It's just at the bone-in.
At the bone-in.
BONEIN.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and that is a great cut of meat. If you can find it, I highly recommend it. And you can see different recipes on how you prepare on the bone-in, but it's fantastic.
And where are you going from there with like, are you going to start YouTube channels? Are you going to start?
Look, I'm just having a good time, man. So basically, I've been cooking for a long time, and when my friends are over, you know, we're having a drink or two, and I'm cooking, and we're talking shit just like we're doing now, you know, making people laugh, and everyone's cracking up. They're making fun of me. I'm making fun of them, you know, making a mess.
Because you got a little online beef going with Fatty, right?
Oh yeah, Fatty thinks, but he's my son, and I'm trying to teach him, but he's a stubborn kid. Doesn't want to learn. Yeah. And you can go see Fatty Cakes on Instagram too, FADIECAKES. K-E-S. I'm not very good at spelling, but that's his name. He sucks at cooking.
Even the way you were saying that, I was kind of trying to respell it in my mind. You see A-K-E-S.
Yeah, that is cakes. Yeah. It's a very difficult word for me. But so we've had a little beef going on. You know, he was trying to battle me in certain things, and he's losing pretty badly. But he's been on this Instagram thing for a while. He is kind of a celebrity, so at least he likes to think that. And so he's got his fan base, right? Well, if you're a fanny fatty cakes and you don't like my cooking, I don't like you neither. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Get out of here.
Yeah, stick with the cake, man.
Yeah.
So
how old were you when you were in America?
I was born in Miami.
Oh, you were born there in Miami?
Yeah, born in
Miami.
Miami.
I knew this already, didn't I?
Yeah. I've known you for like, I don't know, 12 years or 11 years. I don't know. I've known you.
No, like it's been like we figured it out the other day. I think it's been 5.
How's it been 5, bro?
I
knew you before you moved to Dubai.
How?
Bro, you were sleeping on my brother's couch.
I came.
Or Reza's couch.
I came for a month and then I went back and then I came back again, yeah.
You came for holiday, you never left. And then you went back.
I went back for a month and I literally came. I said, I'm going to go back, come back. Do you know the funniest story with that is? So I went and I stayed with Reza. He had a spare room and I was here for a month. And I said, when I was leaving, I said, guys, I'll be back in a month. I'm going to get an apartment in this building, which was in Marino, 54th floor in Salafa. I said, I'm going to get an apartment in this building and I'm going to start my business here and it's going to take off. I literally came back in a month. So Reza picked me up from the airport and he was like, dude, you know that I'm moving to a villa now with a friend. So my apartment's available. So not only did I get it in the same building,
on the same floor,
I got the same room, the same place, the same apartment that I was living in, and then everything went from there. And then I realized
but that was after my brother.
Then what do you
was
mean?
It the corner of my brother's apartment or after my brother had moved?
No, it was 54th floor. Your brother was on 70.
Yeah, so before my brother used to be right next to the. That's how they met.
That was after, So then I realized the mistake because Reza's like a super party animal and stuff like that.
That whole building.
Yeah, and then I just moved in and you just want to chill out and stuff. And 10, 15 people opened the door and started walking in. Didn't say anything to me and just started to party. And I was like, hey.
You were a guest.
What's going on, guys? What's going on? They were like, Reza's house. And even when we were going out after, I would always hear your brother shouting, party at AJ's house. And I was like, no, stop shouting my door number out. This is not the same place anymore.
Y'all should have seen this. It was a movie.
Dude, it was insane. And even your brother and Mo, I remember I'd be sleeping and the door was, open. And I didn't realize how it was like a college dorm where everyone would go inside each other's houses.
How was it?
And I'd be sleeping and I'd hear ding, 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 ding. I was like, what's that? And it's your brother came down for a hit of Doha and then decided to start playing PlayStation in my house. He had a PlayStation in his house, but he just liked to play it downstairs on my TV. And I was like, what's going on here?
So I used to go over there to see my brother and he'd be like, on a weekend or whatever. Every day was a weekend over there. So then I'd be like, where's Reza or whatever? He goes, oh, let's go check. He just walks out of his door, walks straight to Reza's house. Reza could be with a girl. Reza could be doing whatever.
And just carry on as good.
He was just there, and it was our house. I mean, it was just one big house.
I mean, I like that. It was a nice community living there. But, after being there for a while, it's like an apartment isn't, up in those towers and that it's not really...
Look, my brother got evicted from that building. For you to get evicted from Salafa Tower...
Yeah, exactly. You have to be some serious mess,
they weren't the only ones doing this shit, right? It was everybody in the building. It was just a party tower of Dubai.
All the time. And you'd meet people in the lifts, and people would change so much that you wouldn't know who your neighbors were and you wouldn't know.
No.
And every floor looked the same. 2 or 3 times I'd come back at night and I'd walk, into the house. And I remember one time I came back, I stayed out and I came back in the morning. Everyone was out partying, whatever. So I walked into the building and I go in there and there's this guy wearing his work shirt and boxer shorts. And he's ironing his trousers for work. And he's looking at me and he's kind of still ironing like that. And I'm looking at him. I'm thinking, what are you doing in my house? Because they're all kind of like set up the same way. What are you doing in my house? And then he's like, what are you doing in here? Can you get out? And then I'm like, I looked and there was no pool table there. And I was like, oh, okay, that's how I differentiate. Oh, sorry, dude. And I had to walk out. That building was nuts.
No, it was nuts. It was nuts. I wonder, I don't know if it's still the same. Obviously, we haven't been there in so many years. But I wonder how that managed during this quarantine and lockdown. I don't think the police could stop those people.
I don't know that.
I mean, it was either the right or wrong building to be in during this lockdown.
I don't get what was going on in that building.
No, nuts.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, I noticed as well, is so you have a lot of hats, and I went through a phase where I had so many hats, like literally, like that's
you had more. You have more, the most hats.
So my wife, literally said to me, "You can't go to the mall anymore without me," because I'd go to the mall, I'd say, "Babe, I'm just going to buy a hat," and then I'd come back with 18.
I remember.
And she'd look at me like,
The same hat,
"What?
in different colors.
Yeah.
New York Yankees
What
hat,
is
if
your
I'm not
problem?
mistaken, right?
All different ones." And this is what the point I wanted to get to. So most of yours are H-Town hats in Houston because you come from Houston.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever look at us?
Well, this is Team USA.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
it's
basketball
relevant.
hat
But do you
for the
ever
Olympics.
look at us foreigners, us Brits and stuff? Because I'd wear a Houston hat with a New York's T-shirt and
Confused as
then
hell.
you know a Lakers pair of shorts, and you guys go like, "What are you guys doing, mate?" It's like
Yeah,
you're just throwing everything together. You don't know what you're doing with these clothes. You're not supposed to be mixing your teams together.
Look, I mean, I know the Brits. You all want to be like us. I get it.
You
know?
guys are us. Actually, let's talk about that.
No.
So what are these things called that you wear on your, you know?
What are these things? Glasses?
Yeah. Okay, glasses. But
You mean spectacles, as you would say?
No, but what do Americans call them? Eyeglasses.
Eyeglasses. They're for your eyes.
Yeah, but where else would they go?
I don't know. You could put glass in a lot of places.
Okay, so what is we wear a vest, which is like an undergarment, a vest. What do you guys call a vest?
A vest?
Yeah.
A vest is like the thing you wear like
A
underneath your
waistcoat.
jacket.
A waistcoat.
A waistcoat?
Yeah, that's called a waistcoat. You guys call it a vest.
No, vest, we call it a jersey. What are you talking about? Like to the gym?
Yeah, that's a vest.
That's a jersey.
A jersey?
Yeah.
A jersey is a jumper. A jersey
What's
is
a jumper?
A jumper is like a pullover.
See, what happened was, okay, you guys were there first,
But you
right?
guys are speaking our language.
No.
Yes.
No, we're speaking a modified version. We perfected your
All right,
language.
but you can't tell me I'm wrong because we have the right language.
No, let me explain it to you what happened.
Okay.
So when y'all came across
Okay.
to the new land, America,
Okay.
all right, you found some Indians there, right?
Yeah.
They had their own thing going on.
Not me. I'm not associated with any of this whatsoever.
Yeah, he is. So, I mean, somehow.
Mm.
So you guys kicked the Indians out,
Okay.
all right? Poor little Indians,
Mhm.
all right? And then you evolved, just like the monkeys evolved into humans, as they may have said, if you believe in evolution. Well, the British evolved into Americans, and Americans just basically took everything the British did wrong and fixed it.
But how if they're the same people?
Well, over time we evolved. The only difference was back in the UK, you guys were just living.
But wouldn't you say that if I look at Americans, I would say that you devolved, not not evolved. There's a big difference between evolution, which means you're actually adapting and getting smarter, and devolution,
it's a different
where
point of
you're
view.
kind of like, because we don't have Jerry Springer.
I mean, that's what you're missing. You're missing guys like Jerry Springer.
Okay.
Imagine Jerry Springer with a British accent.
I think we do have one, but he's no.
Boris Johnson.
No, I don't know what he is. He's just like an anomaly in the system.
Oh yeah.
Because I watch Boris Johnson and I feel like he knows what he wants to say, but it doesn't. From when it's coming from there to there, he has
Donald
a stroke.
Trump's son.
He has a stroke halfway through.
We have the same problem in America.
Yeah, Donald Trump. You like Trump, right?
Look, I'm on the edge, right? I like Trump for certain things, and I despise him for others. But
Okay, what are the certain things that you like about Trump, apart from his hair and his tangerine skin?
I want to say something that I know British people will love.
Okay.
He tells it like it is.
He tells it like it. Yeah, but
that's a bunch of crap anyway.
But still, you can't be like that as a president.
No, you can't.
The things he says.
You can't.
You're a president, dude. You can't say that.
See, I wish Obama would be there to speak, and Trump would be in the background making business decisions and economic decisions. Because for the most part, I believe he's nailing that aspect of it. You can debate me on that, but I know that I've thrived since he's been in office, and everybody I know has thrived since they've been in office.
Yeah,
Americans.
It doesn't really affect me in the slightest. That's why I don't really care.
Yeah, it doesn't affect you, but it does affect me in a big way, and it has affected the American population, lowest rate of unemployment, and everyone wants to go back. Oh, well, that was Obama's doing, and he's just reaping the rewards. Come on, he changed so many other things. We can go into politics, but let's not do that. No, in terms of bringing businesses back to America. Carrier was in Mexico building air conditioners. Well, he said, Carrier, you're coming back home, or I'm going to hit you with taxes. They came back home. He brought a lot of companies back from China. He brought some companies back from Australia. He made Apple. China.
Why don't you ask China?
Why did you ask China?
He's so raw, dude. Like, in a sense, like...
And he had to say that to a Chinese girl.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. I can't figure out whether he's the dumbest guy in the world or the smartest guy in the world, because...
No one can.
I can't figure out whether he knew she was Chinese and he specifically said that to her and he's OG gangster, or
Yeah.
he just doesn't care enough to notice that she was Chinese and made a mistake.
Look, she was baiting him.
Because
number one. She knew
let's
she was
be real.
Chinese.
She's wearing a mask, but when you cover the eye with Chinese people, you can pretty much still tell that from the eyes that they're Chinese.
Yeah,
that's not racist. That's just facts.
Well, what happened if she was Japanese?
Yeah, but there's a different kind of eye shape, isn't there?
I mean, I don't think he's
if you're
smart
quite
enough
cultured,
to determine
you'd know the difference.
Yeah, well, not him. But the fact of the matter is, these reporters out there, this is what pushes me more towards his side. These reporters, especially CNN,
they're there to...
They're all baiting him.
To make people look stupid.
And it's all a business at the end of the day. The Democrats want to make money. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, but they've made it clear on what they want to do, and they just want to make money. And with him in power, he doesn't need to make money in the corrupt ways. He can make money straight up because he's a billionaire already, and his sons are running the business.
Do you think he'll stay again for the next term?
There's no other choice.
Really?
Yeah, there's no other choice. I'm not saying he's the best choice. There's just no other choice. It's a fact. And you know, Biden doesn't even remember his name.
Yeah.
And then who are you going to go for? I mean, I'm running for president.
Which country?
I'm letting y'all know. So far, America, just because I can.
But it's open.
But it's open. If anybody else wants to recruit me, I'm ready to listen to what the offer is.
You just turn the whole place into a steakhouse,
right?
Yeah,
that's it. And
what else do you need? No one will be fighting. Everyone will be fed. They'll all be in a food coma, so they can't really have fights or do anything.
So 2030,
yeah,
you know, but whatever year it's going to be.
You've left it quite far, dude.
Yeah, well, I need at least another 2 terms got to go by.
The term's like
4 years.
4 years, right? Yeah.
So I need at least another 2 terms to go by. I need to, you know, learn more.
Okay.
But that's not the most important part.
Yeah.
You don't need
it's pretty clear you don't have to know much,
right,
to be a president.
Exactly. You're not doing anything anyways. You're the face of it.
Yeah.
B, I need to see how much money I can earn in the next 10 years to finance this campaign.
Dude, no, I'll finance it. Don't worry. By then, this podcast is going to be...
I'm going to have to get a lot of people who will have interest in me being in office and are going to put money behind this campaigin. So if any of y'all need any favors done by the American government, vote for me in 2030. As long as you
if you need a favor now.
If you need a favor now,
vote for me.
Yeah.
And then in 2030, when you probably won't need that favor again, I'll then pass it back to you.
But I take payments in advance.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I'm trying to take payments for advance, and I don't even know where I'm offering, but I just need money now.
I
just do it, right?
I'm ready to take a donation.
Yeah, right? What else is there? So you have quite a few high-end friends, right?
Yeah, a couple guys. I don't like them very much, but some guys. No, I like some of them.
Who's the most famous person in your phone other than me?
In my phone?
Yeah.
Other than you?
Yeah.
I mean, you mean second place?
Yeah, as in below me.
Oh, below you. Floyd Mayweather.
Okay.
You know, he's a character. I know the Brits love him.
Yeah, but I'm 100% a Pacquiao fan. Like 150% Pacquiao fan.
Me too.
And
me too. He knows that too.
Mayweather's just...
He's a character, that guy.
I mean, again, he's a boxing Trump, isn't he? He's smart. He's smart in a sense where he
can deny.
He knows what he's doing.
No one can deny that he's making money. That's another story. No one can deny that he's the best defensive boxing genius in the history of the sport.
I could be the best defensive boxing genius as well. You put me in the ring with anyone, and I'll run around for as long as possible.
Okay, his later years.
He's not running around. Did you see the Pacquiao fight? Which Pacquiao won, by the way. I've watched so many slow motion CompuBox videos and all.
Question mark about that. I wanted Pacquiao to win. I still wish he won.
I really like.
But I've actually watched. I do too. I think Pacquiao is a great human being.
Gone all the way back from when he was 15 fighting to now, and he's just
great human being. Came from the slum of the slum. You know, I'm a big Pacquiao fan.
He should go for president
of America.
I think he'll get it. No, do you know what? At this stage, if you told me anyone was going to be the president of America after Trump, I wouldn't be surprised now. I think it's opened the floodgates for
anyone. That's the great thing about America. You can't go be the president of the UK. You can't be the president of the UAE. You can't be, you know.
Do you ever think you'll change your national anthem to what they really want it to be?
And what's that?
America. Fuck yeah. Coming around to save the motherfucking day. Yeah, America.
Best movie.
Dude, Durka. I love that show, dude. And it's not just like, if you made that show with actors, it wouldn't work as well.
No,
it's the fact that they're like...
Wouldn't it be funny?
It's the fact that they're just
wouldn't even be funny.
Like literally, when they're running, you just see their legs dragging on the floor, being bored there.
It's fun. They blow up the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, that is an amazing
show. Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about that before, where I was saying that hands down, British comedy is much funnier than American
Oh, I
comedy.
disagree with you 1
Apart
million percent.
from, apart from stand-up comedy. Stand-up
Oh, that's
comedy,
what I'm talking about.
way ahead of the game. America, 100%. British comedy, a lot smarter when it comes to shows.
Yes, look. I love the British. All right, most of my friends, to be fair, are British, or have some sort of relation to the UK. But when it comes to comedy, when it comes to media, I mean, with comedy and entertainment and show business, I mean, nobody can beat. You know.
Yeah, but again, not with shows. Watch a show like Afterlife, Ricky Gervais, and then watch a show like, the Friends kind of shows, where there's the laugh track in the background, and it's pretty much, you pretty much know the same story that's going to happen every episode. It's always going to be Joey makes a joke about this, Ross says something about dinosaurs, and which is good. I loved Friends. I've seen the whole 21 seasons.
Yeah.
I've seen them
Well,
3-4 times.
The British for sure
There's
are more witty.
Yeah, but the wit and the smartness behind it, and the
I get it. Yeah, it's more intellectual.
And
Funny.
I think that our comedy is based a lot on sarcasm too.
Yeah, you have a lot of sarcasm.
There's a lot of sarcasm going where somebody could just be making fun of you the whole time during a conversation and you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I get it. And in the States we've got. Okay, I'm not saying you don't in the UK, but our cultures in the States, whether you're white, black, Asian, Mexican, whatever you are, Latin, like they're very diverse. Like they're very. I mean, they're very.
No, it's like
different.
that in the UK too. It's like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like in the
especially
UK,
the school that I went to, which is why I ended up speaking so many languages and why I had so many friends from some different things. I went to a school that had everyone in it. Everyone, English, Spanish,
I'm
American,
not saying there's not everyone. What I'm saying is like.
I mean,
the cultures
it's bigger.
stick to themselves.
It's bigger,
There's not much intermingling.
Yeah,
when I say
it's
intermingling,
bigger. Yeah, I think ours is opposite. In London, it's so cosmopolitan. Everyone's together and
that's
mixed
what
together.
I'm saying. Like, so my black British friends and my white British friends,
and all that stuff, which is like that area is just.
And they have different comedy, different lifestyle, different everything. Well, my friends from the UK, whether they're black or white or Arab.
It's all similar, yeah.
Everyone's similar, which is kind of nice, actually. You almost feel like
you know what to expect, kind of thing.
I think that's why in the UK, I don't know, this is what I believe. Obviously, I've never lived there. That there's less racism because everybody's kind of culturally similar.
Especially in London.
Yeah.
I mean, you go out to some of those bubkin areas, and there's gonna be a lot of racism.
Yeah, I bet.
But they're not big enough to make a difference to the country, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We're in
the
America,
States,
you have states that are racist.
States,
like don't drive through
man,
there. There's
crazy.
no point.
It's crazy.
That's nuts. But back to boxing. Tyson has an amazing podcast. Have you seen
I love
Hot Boxing with Tyson?
Tyson's podcast.
So I really want to promote that dude because I love Tyson since I was.
I've
even got a signed Mike Tyson glove.
If he wasn't a psycho, he'd be the best of all time.
But this is the thing.
But he's not a psycho.
He's not. He now, especially. I mean, you've seen him go through so many different stages in life, and just hearing him talk about the way he used to be and how he is now.
He would have never been the killer boxer that he was if he didn't have that mentality.
Never did. Could
just
you
like
imagine?
Michael Jordan, if you're watching that The Last Dance, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You see him and you're like, oh, he's a dick.
But can you imagine? Even though you've been training boxing your whole life, in that era when Tyson was young and he just started and he was, unpredictable and he was nuts and he was saying that he's going to eat your asshole and kill your babies and he's fighting with broken backs and he's like, no, my back is broken. Yeah.
Spinal.
Yeah. Could you imagine that face off in the ring? Those 3 seconds when you're looking at him like this and he's just going,
fucked.
He's just doing that.
I'd be so scared.
Can you imagine?
I don't care who I was.
Knowing that you were going to fight him.
I'd stop. I'd quit.
And it turns out he was more scared than anyone.
Yeah.
After he talks about it and that. But imagine that.
Man, that guy, we would just come in and... Did you see the video he just posted 2 days ago?
Him training now?
Him training now at 53?
Dude.
Never had...
Just imagine. Because it's one thing... I think having a fight with Tyson in a club is less scary than having an arranged fight in a boxing ring.
That's only because you're drinking and it's dark.
But not just that. It would happen like this. Imagine sitting in the changing room knowing I have to sit here for 10 minutes and then I have to walk to the ring and wait for him and see him walk all the way up to you, knowing that, with The Rock, knowing that this guy is out there to murder you.
But then there's some comfort in knowing that every time he knocked somebody out, he would go and check
Could you,
on them.
yeah,
and
that's
help them
another
out.
thing. He was so humble. He'd go and he'd sit there and
So it's kind of like almost worth it to get knocked out by Tyson and the shit kicked out of you, just
Yeah,
so he
right.
can, you know,
just give you a hug.
caress you.
He should make a new one called Hug with Tyson.
Yeah,
where you could just pay to go hug him.
Like Tyson held me.
Tyson was a beast.
Beast.
In those days, you know, you had the Lewis, you had the Holyfield.
Well, his concept was completely different, right?
Right.
So he was more. He wasn't
weave, the way he would weave.
The way he weaved, but it wasn't weaving like he wasn't bouncing around. His legs were shocks.
Right.
There was suspension, and that's what he always preaches. That it's all in the legs, all in your knees.
Like the knees were soft.
I mean, if you look at his
barefooted,
hamstrings,
no socks on his.
Yeah.
The guy's not wearing socks, dude. Like, the guy comes in like without wearing socks. That means that he didn't even have to prepare. He just threw his shoes on.
He was ready.
And he's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Like there's been so many like boxing. Did you ever watch you know, the Sugar Ray Leonards and the Marvin Haglers?
Of course.
Marvin Haglers and
they basically were the
so
evolution
many,
of boxing.
Yeah, there've been so many like crazy boxing and then, you know, tippling onto MMA. How did you feel about the whole McGregor?
McGregor is the man. I think he got to his head a little bit, and then he went overboard. He's very similar to Floyd Mayweather.
It got to his head, but he's also Irish, and Irish are very kind of like, they're like an anomaly. Like they're never scared. They're very confident. They're very, you know, how Sigmund Freud said that the Irish are people that you can't do psychoanalysis on. Because
I thought you said Siegfried and Roy.
Them too.
Roy
no, but he said that he said they're so up, down, left, right that it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense to even try it on them.
Yeah, all my Irish friends are pretty nuts. I never understand them either. Y'all sound completely different to them.
The Irish?
You
little poiky bastard. You're drinking all the water in the feet. Come on. Fight you for a caravan. Come on.
I have one friend of mine, he was a neighbor too, and he'd always bring me back whiskey, right?
Yeah.
So Scottish, Irish, same thing, right?
Completely different.
Just kidding. So anyways, he was Scottish, by the way. So he'd always bring me back whiskey from his own distillery, right? His family's own distillery. And man, I lived by this guy for 3 years. Awesome guy.
In the States?
No, here.
Okay.
The Palm, the Marina residence right there. So it was like 5 years ago. Awesome guy, great guy. We'd get together, we'd drink. To this day, I think I've understood 6 words in 3 years.
Yeah, but you would just sit there with him, just have a conversation.
We would go back and forth. I just don't know what I was talking about. And it was great. It was great. Amazing guy. I love my Scottish and Irish guys. They're crazy though.
In case he needs any help, and he once told you, if I ever get stuck in this situation, I need you to do this, this, and this. And you didn't remember or understand anything.
Wouldn't know what to do.
And you're like, what did you want to do? And he was like, remember what I told you.
I'd be like, I need a translator.
Yeah. Cut the head and put it in the sink.
Yeah. No. Failed. But what was I saying?
About
where were we going before that?
McGregor. Yeah.
So McGregor at one side, I think he screwed up his career with all his crazy, you know, all the things he was doing that were extracurricular. However, like Mayweather, I think McGregor utilized his position and his fame and his exposure to make much more money.
Yeah, having that fight as well with Mayweather.
Yeah. But no, forget the Mayweather fight. That's a different thing. But like, he made much more money acting a fool and going crazy than he would have been just a humble fighter.
It's branding, isn't it? So, do you know what I mean?
So you can't say he did the wrong thing.
You've got two sides of it. You've got Khabib, who does do the humble fighter thing, makes a lot of money too.
Not like McGregor.
After McGregor, more, I think.
Yeah, but McGregor's making so much money outside of the octagon. But Khabib, no one knows who Khabib is. Everybody knows who Conor McGregor is, right?
No, I think everybody knows who Khabib is, especially after he demolished McGregor.
Yeah.
Like, in that fight, I wanted Khabib to win.
And it's McGregor's fault.
Yeah, because he wasn't as good.
It wasn't as good. He was too cocky. He just went in.
He went deep on that one as well. He went too far, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, he got him so angry with the stuff that he was saying that it was beyond personal, right?
Dude,
it was just like, there is no way.
Khabib is Chechnyan or something, right?
Yeah, he's
he's one of those Yens.
No, he's from
Stan.
Yeah, he's from
one of Stan or Yen.
Tajikistan, I think.
Whatever. Those motherfuckers are crazy.
Yeah, this is the thing that people.
The dudes that don't practice MMA.
Yeah, don't mess with those dudes because they come from a place that's so. They've seen so much and they've lived a certain type of life that is not. It's like, don't mess with Russians, dude.
Yeah, I ain't playing.
Like, the second you start a fight with someone and he says, "I'm sorry, repeat that again."
Yeah.
You'll be like, "Oh no, nothing."
Bad,
nothing.
No, I was talking to that guy.
Yeah, I was talking to the guy that you just go for somebody like a black guy or a white like a Spanish-looking guy where you know where they're from. It's like I
Yeah,
was talking
yeah,
to him.
Yeah, exactly. And you know their fighting style.
Yeah, I don't
Russian
know.
can just walk away
It's just that
quietly.
I just feel like Russians are built different. I feel like they can take pain more.
They can.
They'll continue more.
Have you seen Rocky Balboa?
Right?
I
Ivan
mean,
Drago.
Ivan Drago.
Drago.
How much can you take? Well,
Yeah.
first of all, Rocky must have been Russian.
Yeah.
Because
No,
that
he was
dude,
originally Lebanese.
he must have been Lebanese.
Yeah, exactly.
Must have been Lebanese. But he wasn't as full of shit.
Nah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
He just wasn't a very smart one, so he,
Yeah.
he couldn't get it.
Yeah. Man, he took a beating in every show, every movie.
Man, I don't get it. I think the cold, the weather, the whole, especially when you go to like Siberia sides and it's just like desert.
It's just one explanation.
Mm.
They're all basically the offspring of Putin.
Yeah.
And Putin is the man.
Yeah,
I love Putin, by the way.
Topless riding horses and stuff like that.
Big fan of Putin.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't play games.
The whole concept alone is crazy to me that one guy just runs countries, kings and queens and all that stuff. I mean, obviously it must have been like the original bully boys of the situation, kind of. I'm talking about in the beginning.
I get it.
It must have been like the strongest.
My question is, like, why hasn't there been another bully boy getting a bunch of people together and going to overthrow these people?
Yeah, well, I was thinking of starting a cult.
I'm down.
That's mainly why I'm starting this podcast.
Well, so who are we going to overthrow?
No, nothing. I just want to get loads of people having sex in a park together in an enclosed place and just make up some rules that they stick to. See how far I can take it.
Now, that's interesting.
Right?
Now, that is interesting.
Like that, what was it called? Wild Wild Country, Wild West Country, with that Osho. Did you ever watch that on Netflix?
No.
The Indian guy that just started a cult in America.
Yeah. Talim was watching it. And then I saw her and her sister were watching this thing, man. That guy, the yoga guy.
Yeah. Just like starting
He's
these
still alive,
crazy
I think.
cults.
He's like a multi-millionaire.
And he had like, 25 Rolls Royces and all that stuff. Well, there was actually a film.
He was like raping women without them knowing.
I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't watch the show, but
no, there was something called, I think it was called Kumari or something like that, where this Asian American man said, "I want to do a documentary." So he faked being a guru, and he went to another state in America, set up this yoga place, and did it. And then he started a cult and everything, and he just made up his own way of breathing and all that stuff. And they were giving him money and blah blah blah. And then in the last one, he kind of shaved the whole beard off, looked like a normal, Indian guy just in a shirt and trousers, and confronted everyone and said, "Listen, this is all fake. Everything you're looking for is in me." Blah, blah, blah. And there were people, and the people were going nuts, and just like not accepting it, and blah blah blah. And it's just like,
well, I hope people from the Bone In and Jibber with Jabber, maybe we can make a cult
together, right?
Cooking, sex,
cooking cult, right?
Yeah,
I think that would work.
I think we got a future.
We just need a location, and then we're ready to go. Maybe we can take a little island somewhere.
Right here on the World Islands in Dubai.
Yeah, I don't think we can get away with having that cult here, to be fair.
Yeah, probably not. Probably would be frowned upon.
Yeah,
slightly.
Yeah, I'm not part of that.
Yeah. So it's a tough life.
So how does it feel being a new dad?
It's great, man. It's great. Talim does all the work.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, this is Talim's husband, Talim from episode 2, who's also a close friend of mine. This is her husband. So the baby we're talking about is the same baby.
It's the same baby. No,
I think.
It should be. I hope so. I hope I don't have another one.
Yeah.
Or I hope she doesn't have another one.
Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know. But
I think it would be easier for you to get away with having another one than her having another one and you not knowing about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if I have another one, I also don't know about it. But no, man, being a new dad is great, man. The baby's growing. She's amazing. This quarantine's been tough. She's been social distancing by force. So this is a great time for her to be developing.
At that age, how many friends can you really miss? Like,
no, she's missing though. She has to be around people, So this has been the hardest part. But on the other side, parenting is interesting.
Yeah, but you're pretty wealthy. Why don't you just buy her a couple of friends and have them stay at the house for a while?
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, okay. I thought you might have.
Yeah, but then I have to pay for the fruit.
You got to use the shrimp, right? There's no point of
the shrimp.
Yeah, right. There's no point of holding it all to yourself.
Yeah, the problem is you got to take care of those too. They're human beings also. And I didn't realize that at the beginning. So they were malnourished. They
just walking around the house.
They didn't have a bed. They weren't even in the house. I kept them outside. I didn't know.
Just in the heat. They just standing.
When I first bought them, they were things.
Time to play.
Yeah. So I would just open the door in the morning and Gigi go and play.
Yeah, exactly.
But they started getting smaller and skinnier and not as healthy.
And then she's wondering, why do these trees?
Yeah, why is she growing and they're not?
Exactly.
I don't understand. And then I realized that it's just gonna be expensive to bring them back up to normal. So I
So
turned
you
them in for a refund.
started the boning,
So I
and
started the
they're now
boning.
editing, filming. You just
By the
got
way,
a
I'm
load of
just
skinny
kidding.
people just filming and
Yeah,
editing your stuff.
exactly. Oh no, I'm just kidding. That sounded really bad. Actually,
Yeah.
now that I just thought about it, that was really, really bad.
Are we gonna say you're kidding?
Yeah. Let's go
You
with
want to
that.
retract the statement, or
No, let's
we'll
go
tell
with
the
kidding.
truth?
Yeah, no. So I haven't bought any
Yeah.
friends for her.
Okay.
She has a dog, and you know, her and Mishmish. You know Mishmish.
Yeah.
And she has my wife.
Mhm.
I'm at work most of the time, but when I come home, we spend our time together.
But you're working from home most of the time now, right?
No.
Oh, no, still out.
No, we're in construction, so construction doesn't stop.
Mm.
You know, we've been working pretty much every day. For about 2 weeks, I went like 3 days a week instead of full time. But
Now you're going back full time.
yeah, the last 2 weeks is full time. I can't. We're not stopping. So my soldiers on site are fighting. I gotta be there with them. So gotta be there in the office.
Mm.
We're taking every precaution necessary, but we have many cases of corona in our company and
It's crazy.
every company actually.
I don't even want to get into it. I've spoken too much about that.
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Apart from where are you missing going? Like, are you missing traveling, or did you have a holiday that you were going to do and then now you're like,
Yeah, well, this summer was supposed to be a big summer for us.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Talin's been pregnant and mom for the last 2 years. So she hasn't even had a summer for 2 or 3 years even. So I was planning a great summer vacation. Things were going well business-wise, and you know, I was going to try to take, you know, like a month and a half off and really take a nice trip, which we haven't done. I mean, I've done, but she hasn't had a chance to do in the last 2 3 years.
Where did you go?
I went to the south of France. We usually go in the
South
south of France.
the south of France.
Yeah. So we like to go to Monaco and Saint-Tropez and Cannes, you know, do the whole thing there, or Mykonos. It is what it is.
Just get on with it, right?
Get on with your life, baby.
Like, you know, people travel around the world. They go to places like Thailand and that, where it's, you know, Ladyboys and all that stuff is just normal there. Like,
see, the whole
you must
Ladyboy
have a
thing,
Ladyboy
though,
story. Because I've got a Ladyboy story.
A few.
Huh?
A few. Not like what you're thinking right now, but yeah. So Thailand.
Okay, tell me your funniest Ladyboy story.
Oh God, this is the best.
Okay.
So in Thailand is the place that you can go and you can see a Ladyboy and you won't know.
And who looks like
because she's gorgeous.
Yeah. And I think that
Or
more
he's
in
gorgeous.
South,
What do you call them?
they are gorgeous.
Babies.
I think in South America as well. Some places in Brazil. I was in Brazil talking to a woman once, and she was one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, until she told me she was a dude, and I was like, I wasn't repelled, I wasn't disgusted. I still stayed and chatted with her for like hours after, but I just couldn't understand it. I didn't believe it. I was like, no. He's like, yeah, and I was like, no. It was like, yeah.
How did that happen?
I was like, no, you stuck that on. There is no the most beautiful, because they get their like Adam's apple shaved and you know, the breast done and the arse and everything, and they're genuinely beautiful, and you're just like, how?
Like, man, it's crazy. So we were in Thailand, right? Yeah. We're in Phuket, and we're walking down Bangla Street, where all the alleys are, with all the bars and everything. I was with my brothers, my cousin. I think my dad was there. And, you know, we were all drinking, having a good time. You know, you go in there, they play all the games. There's like the wood where you have to hit the hammer on the nail and you take a shot, and I don't know what. So we were pretty toasted, and we were having a great time, and we were walking. And I like to play with my cousin. I'm not going to say which one, but I always like to play games with him.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another funny story about that afterwards. But we were walking down the road and saw this group of beautiful Thai women.
Women, yeah.
And they're all yelling at us.
Yeah.
You know, we're the forbidden fruit. Not the forbidden fruit. We're like Tom Cruise, you know, or one of these famous actors walking down. I mean, you feel really good. I mean, they're all like, wow. I'm like,
yeah, it's me. Yeah.
You know. I'm imagining that there's a bunch of flashes going on. That wasn't happening, but I felt it.
It might have been on that street, to be fair.
Yeah, there probably was. It just wasn't cameras.
Yeah.
And so I got my cousin. I'm like, listen, man, those girls, they like you. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I went to try to talk to them earlier. They didn't like me. Yeah. You know, they kept asking for you, and they're pointing at you.
At this point, do you know that they're guys?
Oh, I knew.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Yeah.
And not at first, but then you really concentrate, you can figure it out.
Yeah.
He was wasted on another level. So I was like, man, you should go and talk to him. Like, let's go. I was like, come on. You know, and he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, they don't want to talk to me, but I'm going to come with you. You know.
Such a prick.
Yeah. So we walk on over. There's like 4 or 5 of them. I don't remember. And they're like, oh, my God. I'm like, Eric, like, look how beautiful they are. I just said his name.
So much good for not saying which cousin it was.
Damn it.
That's all right.
My cousin Eric, if you're watching this, I had to put you on blast. Yeah. So we get into the...
I'll bleep it, but I'll just bleep the word cousin, not Eric.
Yeah, actually bleep that. And So we get over there, and I'm like, listen, take a picture. And they're all hugging him, and he's like, his arms around them. And I'm not, to be fair, these girls were stunning.
Yeah.
Right? They were beautiful. His arms around them, this and that. He's kissing this one on the cheek, this and that. They're kissing him and grabbing him. And I'm sitting there taking pictures.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm cracking up. And I'm like about to like fall on the ground.
Yeah,
like, I can't stop.
But at no point do you feel like you should intervene and tell him that they weren't.
I should have intervened at least 30 seconds before I finally did. And then he started seeing me laughing, and you could tell that he's concerned now.
He's concerned,
first
but
he's laughing.
They're good looking enough to maybe make a mistake.
Yeah. And he was really wasted. And then he was just like, and his hand was on one of her asses. The other hand was over here. And I was just like cracking up. My brother was cracking up. And we're watching. Soon he realized he stopped. His face went from like to... I was like, let's get out of here. So he jumped off the whatever, it was like a bench or something. He ran, you asshole. Started chasing me down the road.
So there's never been any stories where you paid Ladyboys for anything?
No. I was very careful.
Yeah, because
first of all, I've never paid a lady for anything.
No. I remember we paid
or a boy.
We paid some Ladyboys for their services when we were there. And I don't remember how it happened.
You're going to put that on the podcast?
Yeah, I'm putting it straight on the podcast.
Wow, we're going in.
I'm going to tell you about the time where me and a couple of my friends paid Ladyboys for services. And I don't know who got the idea or how we get to this, but I remember talking to them in the club. And then from there, a little bit of a blackout. And then if you picture the camera zooming back in, you have 5 guys lining up in a row. And each one has a wheelbarrow with them. Okay, an actual wheelbarrow.
Oh.
And as it's going, like Fast and the Furious, each ladyboy is getting into the wheelbarrow. Okay? So we ended up paying these ladyboys for us to do Mario Kart around the city in these wheelbarrows with the ladyboys. So they wanted the money. They didn't care what we wanted them for.
Well,
but we literally
if that was
paid
the service rendered,
that's
I would have paid for that
We
too.
literally paid it. And all I remember is running through the streets of Bangkok, literally running, looking behind me while my friend's running with his ladyboy and stuff like that. And we're crashing into each other with the wheelbarrows. Ladyboys are falling out, and we're taking it really seriously. We're like, get back in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I paid you. Come on, I got an hour. And we just literally just like spent an hour and a half just literally running through the town, Mario Kart racing each other. Like, I'm not even sure if somebody threw a banana for one of us to slip, like, or threw a turtle shell, but it was the funniest situation. And the thing is, we don't remember how we got into it. I just remember taking it really seriously and standing there and I remember choosing my one because she looked a bit light. She looked like she could
flexible.
When I turned the wheelbarrow, she could lean with it and stuff. And it was just one of the funniest memories that I have there. And I mean, I'll never forget that.
Bucket list.
Right?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
It's the wheelbarrow list.
Let's go.
Like, and the thing is, I don't know if you could recreate it again. Like, where else are you going to find 5 wheelbarrows? And I feel like that was just set up perfectly right for us to have that situation. And it was amazing. It was amazing. So I think on your next stag do, because you've had like 3 weddings already.
Yeah, that's true.
Then I'll take you to do that. Well, I remember my stag do, what you did for me. An amazing guy. So I'll tell you what he did for me on my stag do. So, the reason why he had the speech at the wedding, which was a really good speech, I'll try and find that for you guys. So he's arranging my stag do, and I'm thinking, okay, this is Rafi. This is going to be the most amazing thing.
We're in Dubai and he doesn't drink. Okay,
but there's plenty of things that you could have done. So I'm like, okay, one of those ones where you pretend that you don't, when you say, oh no, you don't have to do anything, bro. And you know that he's going to do something because it's your boy getting married and it's his stag do, and he's going to pull out all the stops. So I'm thinking, yeah, you don't have to do anything. Thinking, nah, it's rough. He always comes through. He's going to do something. So there's about 15 of us. We go for a lovely dinner at, where was it, Maine?
Maine.
Lovely dinner at Maine. We're all sitting there, cracking joke, everything. And then they're like, okay, let's move on. So then I think, okay, it's going to start happening. Then we end up going to, so there's a club called Stereo Arcade, which is like, nice club. And then in the back, it's got this little kind of
Angry
bar.
Monkey. It was called Angry Monkey.
Yeah, it's got a bar that's separate to it, which has like saloon doors and stuff like that. So I don't know whether it was, the day was wrong or whatever, but
no, that was supposed to be their night.
Yeah, the club was closed.
Club was closed.
We walk into the saloon and There's no one there.
It was supposed to be their big
Absolutely
night.
no one there.
Oh, mind
right?
you, I think if I'm not mistaken, that was a Monday night, and
You should have done your research, dude. To be fair,
no, but that was the night.
There was no one there. So there's a music playing in the background, and we all sitting there, and the night's winding down, and I'm looking around, going, you know what? It's all right. It's not bad. People are sitting there with their beers in their hand, and all of a sudden, I hear Spurs like in a cowboy movie, walking. And there's this Filipino cowboy who gets on the stage and slowly starts singing Rhinestone Cowboy for the Rhinestone Cowboy. And I remember everyone just sitting there with like their heads in their glasses. And all my mates were like, this is not what we expected. But it was good. It was good.
First of all, I wasn't the only one here planning it. There was a group.
Okay.
And
so
secondly,
all of you were.
Yeah, we all swung and missed. But the second part of that, it's not very easy to plan a party for you.
Why?
Because you don't drink and you don't party.
Okay, but we could have gone to the desert. We could have jumped in, because you guys drink. There could have been drink there. I mean, how many times have I come to the How many times have I come to the club with you and not drank?
Not that many. A few times.
Every time I've come to the club, I've never drank.
Well, I know that.
But I still had fun, and you were still like, oh, how many times did you ask me, are you drinking?
I was blackout,
right?
So I didn't know.
You know what? The one thing I do like about you, and I always respected about you from the beginning.
My good looks.
No, that wasn't respect. That's admired. That's
okay, admiration.
Yeah. Infatuation. That was.
Oh, wow.
But you're one of the only people that when we go to the clubs, even in the UK and here, when the check came, okay, and I had drank one Red Bull the whole night, and I would go to pay, because it's the thing that you do. You try to chip in with everyone else or whatever, and you're one of the only ones that goes, what are you doing? You drank a Red Bull, and we've ordered 16 bottles of champagne.
Yeah.
You're not putting into this. Do you know how many times I've been out with people and
that.
They've been drinking all night, and I haven't drank anything because I don't drink, and they're like, yeah, come on, pay 5% or 20% of this. There's 4 of us, and they want me to pay a quarter of it, and I'm like, but you guys kept on ordering drinks and all that. I've got no issue with paying. If it's a meal, I'll pay for all of it. But the principle of the fact is,
I don't like that. And okay, look, there's 2 sides to this. I understand one part of it, right? There's a table. You're limited people.
Even if it isn't a table.
No,
if you're ordering loads of drinks.
No, the only thing I'm saying is there's a table. There's like, let's say 5 guys and 10 girls allowed on the table. And if let's say I go to this place and I'm not drinking at that time, but I'm taking up one of the paying spots of the table. Let's say the girls aren't paying.
Okay, but I'm hardly taking up a spot, am I? I mean, I don't even think I sat down.
Wait, but that's if the club is a strict condition, which it never is with us. Number one, we don't get it. Happens. Happens. Some other friends of mine, same thing. They don't drink. They come out and everybody's, well, he was here. He had 3 glasses of sparkling water.
Do you know what I mean?
He's not.
And the bill is like for 50,000 dirhams because you bought 10,000 dirham bottles.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But some people do that.
It doesn't make sense. And me personally, I would never do that to someone just out of principle of.
No.
That's like you're going out to a meal and somebody joins you for the meal because he's sitting there with a banter with you on the table, doesn't eat, he's already eaten before he goes outside, and you're like, yeah, come on, chip in. You sat with us. You paid for the company.
No. The one thing I do hate though. And some of y'all might do this. So.
When people expect somebody to pay?
No, that's what
I hate that.
I
will always offer to pay.
Yeah. No.
Even if I think the guy won't let me.
Yeah, you have to offer.
You have to.
Even if you don't.
And you have to be willing to pay.
Yeah.
You know?
You roll the dice.
Yeah.
And then when they say,
and then you
all
go,
right, and then you're like,
yeah.
No, I hate the guy that comes out with the group, does everything with the group, enjoys the girls at the table and the atmosphere and everything going on at the table, and leaves the table for every drink to the bar, buys his drink at the bar and comes back. And when the bill comes, they're like, well, we didn't drink with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold up.
Yeah.
You saved a couple hundred, dirhams at the bar, or quid at the bar.
Yeah.
No,
that's just like Kevin Hart said. Remember in one of his stand-ups when he was like, I can't hang around with these basketball players anymore because I can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped going out with you guys, because the way my bank account.
Well, I stopped doing that a long time ago, though, by the way. Stopped doing that a long time. Well, things have not been the same as they used to be.
Look, when you're making money, the way I look at money is, the way I look at anything when I buy now, especially after Africa's and that, I look at it as time. So any cost, I equate it to time of my life that it's taken me to make that money. So this item is going to cost me 4 days, or it's going to cost me 3 weeks, or if it's an expensive item, it's going to cost me 2 months of hard graft work. Is it worth that time?
I get it.
And when I start looking at it like that, a lot of the times I'm like, nah, it's not worth that time. It's not.
I get it 100%.
You know?
I stopped going out in Dubai a long time ago. Well, I didn't stop going out. I stopped doing what we did when we were out because it's just, you blow a lot of cash here.
And you don't even realize it.
You don't even
That's the
realize
thing, because when I spend a certain amount of money, it's like nothing. And then when I equate it to pounds,
That's
I was
the
like,
thing.
I would never have spent that in a night.
I change it to dollars.
Yeah, I would
and I'm
never have
like,
spent that. Like, what the hell is going
it's
on?
so easy to spend 1,000 dirhams.
Especially
so
with
hard to spend
in
$200.
restaurants and those kind
Oh
of
my
situations.
gosh.
Clothing is almost quite similar with clothing and these things.
Yeah.
Cars, whatever. That's almost. But when it comes to like consuming food and that kind of stuff,
Wow.
like I remember sitting down one time and going, "Would I have spent £300 on this much food back there? No way.
No way.
No way."
Had you pulled out pounds from your
Right?
wallet, you would have never done it.
Never.
You would have never
But
done
the
it.
numbers here, there's something about the numbers.
It's just so much easier.
And I remember when in the beginning with the wife, I would always be like, "Oh, it's only this many pounds." And she'd be like, "Listen, stop comparing it to pounds because you don't live there anymore. You know, you have to start thinking about this kind of money here."
Yeah.
And yeah, it's nuts.
No, that's nuts. But there's a reason Dubai is expensive. It's one of the hot
Yeah,
spots of the
it's
world.
hotspots of the world, yeah.
We live here. We love it.
And I can't think of living anywhere else.
I don't want to live anywhere else.
And I don't get it that those people are like, "Oh, it's fake," and they live here and they're like, "It's fake and it's this and it's that." And I always tell them the same thing. So we have a lovely long road called Sheikh Zayed Road, and it starts, from the end of Abu Dhabi, and then it goes all the way to the airport. You can very easily get a taxi
Accessible.
on that road, go to the airport, and fuck off back to wherever you want to be that
Yeah.
isn't fake. Because name me a place that isn't fake. London, everywhere you think that place had buildings before, it was grass.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere is fake
No, I
that
think
has
we're
buildings.
blessed, man. We live a certain lifestyle
It's
here.
beautiful, dude. And raising kids here for
Safe.
they're not going to get into any crazy stuff. You know
Yeah.
that no one's going to do any mad stuff to them, and that it's just for me the best place to live on earth. I couldn't think of living on earth.
It's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's the country's so young.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. What they've achieved in that time,
50 years, 60 years.
amazing, dude.
I mean,
amazing. Like I was born here, so I plan to die here, man.
Yeah. Oh, you were born. You were born.
I was born in Abu Dhabi.
Yes, right. You were
Yeah.
born in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I want to die here. That's it.
Yeah. My family's been here since the 80s. So.
Good time to come, man.
Yeah. I mean, I came later, but they've been here. My dad came here in '89. So.
Where do you want to die?
Where do I want to die? I want to die. Well, first of all, I'm never going to die. Okay, but
I kind of thought that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if that
But
ever,
if you ever chose to,
yeah, if I ever chose to die, I would probably definitely on a beach somewhere. Somewhere tropical.
I mean, does it matter? What happens when you die? In your opinion?
Lights out.
That's it.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to say I'm an atheist or nothing like that. But
do you ever think about it? Is it something that you think about?
Yeah.
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 Quite regularly, or
not regularly? No.
But thought about it in detail? Because I remember we had a conversation once. I think Tal was traveling, and we were sitting on your balcony in the Palm, and we kind of really went into it deep. It was one of those sitting outside at night talks and stuff. But
well, I don't know, man. It's like I'm a realist, right? And I don't believe in magic. So definitely life is crazy, and the way we've evolved as humans and animals, and this COVID-19 and all this kind of crazy disease and all this stuff. It's like, although COVID-19 is man-made, but besides that, then that's my belief.
Yeah.
But it just, it makes sense that there's a bigger power. Like how did all this come? Dinosaurs and all that stuff. How did all this start?
So what do you think happens?
I don't know.
I'm talking straight up lights out then.
It's just.
Do you have anything that you hope will happen, or
a lot of things I hope will happen? Yeah, I wish I can reincarnate into another life.
And are you happy with the whole forgetting this one? Because it's strange how we.
I wouldn't want to forget this
exactly
one.
Because you think you're so important and you are to you because you're everything you know. Yeah. This whole life is all about you and everything you do and learn and create, and everything is about who you are. But are you prepared to lose that? I mean, are you ready to lose that?
I always think about that. Like, if I could choose who I would reincarnate as, like if I come back as Michael Jordan, it'd be great.
But you couldn't, because he's already gone. That time.
If I come back as LeBron James.
But you're talking about reincarnating and going back in time. That's a whole different story.
You're
confusing things.
The future.
If you reincarnate, okay, but
look, what I'm saying is, it's kind of crazy though, because like, when you think about reincarnation, because you could reincarnate as a bug, you can reincarnate as President Trump, the future President Trump, whatever the next one. You could reincarnate as a labor worker from India. You can reincarnate as a North Korean, crazy dictator. Anything you can reincarnate as a ISIS.
Right, but with that, are you content with there being no more of who you are, the essence of who you are?
There will always be that essence.
Yeah, but it won't be a conscious essence, will it?
No, but there'll be a legacy.
No, but I'm talking about you won't experience it. I'm talking about the personal thing now. I'm not talking about what you leave behind. I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
That click.
Yeah. I think there's at every point.
So you think there'll be some sort of memory or some sort of...
I would hope that I would leave something behind. But I think every chapter should end and every book should end. Every series.
And are you ready to end it?
Today?
Well, it's
I'm just getting started.
But it's unpredictable. What I'm saying is, with this whole death thing, you will never know, and it could happen now. It could happen by the end of this podcast. So, have you come to terms with it and accepted that it's going to happen? And because I think a lot of people aren't scared of death because they never know when it's coming.
I'm not scared.
So they see themselves getting old. They see themselves doing so much more or whatever.
I'm not scared of it. It'd be a little bit disappointing because I feel like there's more that I've wanted to accomplish.
So if you knew you were going to die at 8 p.m. today, you wouldn't be scared?
Oh, it would be a party, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm the opposite. I don't think I could be like that. I think if I knew, I wouldn't want to party and I wouldn't want to do any of that stuff.
I'm saying that now. If it was actually a reality, yeah, I'd probably want to be with my family and friends and just kicking it.
But would you not be scared out of your mind? Because the reality changes, doesn't it?
It's hard to say.
Because again, what I believe is people aren't scared because it's not a reality to them yet. But if it was a reality, 8 p.m.
Well,
today,
some people it is reality too, and
no, I'm talking about the people who aren't scared.
No, what I'm saying is, but some people who aren't scared, it is a reality to them, and
I still believe they're scared. I don't think that. I don't think anyone could know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can't not be scared.
I don't believe anyone that says I'm not scared.
Yeah, but how do you manage your fear is the question. That's the question.
Yeah, it's a crazy concept.
Yeah.
It's a crazy concept, and I ask everyone about it because I just like knowing people's opinions on it and where they think, because there's so many different opinions and there's so many different concepts.
No one can answer it unless you're in that situation.
All right.
Right. I can't answer it. You can't answer it.
But you can answer where you think it.
What you think.
Where it moves on to or where it goes.
What you think, but
you will never have the right. Wrong. Yeah, you will never have the right answer, and you will never know. Wrong. You might, but there'll never be proof, and no one will ever know. And I think that's quite an interesting thing that kind of comes with life.
Yeah.
You kind of. It's the one game that we all share in common, death. It's the one thing that no matter who you are, where you are, you have in common with that person. It's just the commonality between everyone. And it's the one thing you will never figure out too.
And I think even if you are in that position, you can't explain it.
Yeah. But it's just the one thing that you will never figure out.
But
which is pretty cool at the same time. You know, it leaves a little mystery to the whole thing.
Look, on the other side, at least at that time, we're all going to go there. When we get to the other side, it's another journey, apparently.
Yeah.
If it is. And if it's not, you'll never know anyway.
But that's the thing. Imagine never knowing, dude.
Yeah. But you can't imagine anything because it's lights out.
Right. It's a crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a crazy thing.
That's another story, and that can go on forever.
That's it. We're going to have to go through that again next time. Is there anything that you want to push before we come to an end?
Push?
Yeah. Any Instagrams, any...
Well, yeah, guys. I'd like you all to follow The Bone In. Check it out. Give me some recommendations if you have any. Give me some opinions. Give me some advice. There's no press is bad press. Talk shit. Hate on it if you want to. I like it. I love it. Gives me more motivation to prove you wrong. Let me know what you think. And if you have any requests of what you want to learn how to make or cook in the kitchen, we're talking about food. We're talking about sports. Unfortunately, because of Corona, there's been no sports to talk about. Very limited options. That's kind of killing me. But, we're having drinks. We're having a good time. And
do you guys have have you set up an email yet for that?
No, I have not.
No, set up an email for it.
I'm just playing around with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
set up an email so they can send all the requests to all that stuff, so it just doesn't jam up your inboxes in
yeah, that's probably a good
Instagram,
idea. I mean, I'm just having fun with it, man. And I'm not trying to make money out of it. I'm not trying to do
exactly.
anything. Everyone just told me, go do it, try it out. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
First week,
I'm doing it.
First week, 900,000 impressions.
It's not bad, mate.
I heard that was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I only got like 800 followers though, but 900,000 impressions, 500,000 accounts reached or something. I don't know what any of this means, by the way. Just my social media buddies.
It probably means those people you bought, you've got them on computers now, just clicking on the links and watching the videos.
Well, you weren't supposed to say that, but yeah, I've got a whole room of them.
Right, just like TVs and
exactly.
phones,
That's all they do.
sellotape onto the wall.
Just,
they just literally just go through each one clicking. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna try to entertain you guys and have a good time while I'm doing it.
At The Bone In on Instagram.
At The Bone In on Instagram.
It will probably be thebonein@gmail.com.
To start at least.
Try and set it up, yeah.
Yeah, it's free, right?
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, so I'll do that to start.
You might as well. And that's it for today for episode. What are we on? 4? Episode 4.
It's episode 4.
I'd love to have you back again.
I had a great time.
Try and get you and Tal on at the same time will be pretty fun.
Yeah, that'll be funny.
Yeah, so we'll do that for sure. But I'm pretty poor now after buying all this equipment with no work. So
I was about to say, this equipment.
If you can sponsor me and buy me another mic,
yeah, no problem.
we can bring it on. Actually, you got mics, no?
We have mics.
Oh, there you go.
We can do
Perfect.
that. Let's do it later in the evening so we can have a drink and we can even act a little stupid.
That's all right. But I'm not paying for that drink because I'm not having any of it.
Right? That was slick.
I'll see you for episode 5. We got an interesting one coming up. Remember, always, 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 wash your khram.
Wash your khram.